Stuart, you were in Newcastle last night. You'd probably be made aware up there. Have you heard what was going on at Hillsborough?
Yeah, indeed. I mean, I can't think of a turnaround as clinical as that one. With the pressure on the team sometimes probably the pressure was taken off because they got beaten 4-0 and the result was so bad in the first leg. But I tell you what, I remember Sheffield Wednesday as that old Premier League Division 1 team with the support they've got at Hillsborough as well. So you can see why they're buoyed on, and it was some performance and some turnaround, no doubt.
I mean, 32,000 there last night, Simon. If ever we were in any doubt how big this football club is, we saw it last night.
Oh, yeah.
And now, as Josh says, they've got to go one better and win the final.
There's no doubt about that. And some of the observations made on television last night, but this is the third tier of English football. Just have a look at it. This is unique. There's a case to answer that they should never have been in that position in the first place to have to come back from 4-0 down, because the performance they put in away to Peterborough was a pretty tepid performance. I like the fact that Darren Moore didn't make this about the criticism and observations that were made about him and some of the sentiments that were being deployed because they lost the game and where it went. He made it about the football. There was a sort of underlying scenario of people going, "Oh, ye of little faith." I'm telling you, if you straw polled every one of those Sheffield Wednesday fans, you'd have had a very small minority of them that might have said they were going to win that game. So nobody wrote them off. They wrote themselves off.
Yeah.
They got beat 4-0, right? So nobody wrote them off. What they did was they came back and they corrected it. And
Josh thought it was on. He thought once they got one, then maybe two, he thought, look, we can do this.
I mean, I can assure you that when we played Watford in the playoff semi-final and got beat 3-0 at home, Ian Dowie was imparting the same wisdom to the players that you're going to go to Vicarage Road and you're going to overturn a 3-0 defeat. We didn't. We drew out a 0-0 tepid draw, but it's the manager's job to pull the players together. He's not going to sit there and go, well, that's all done then. He's got to play in front of 32,000 fans, probably playing for his managerial career in this particular dugout, because last year they didn't get through the playoffs. This year they've got to the playoffs. They get knocked out again. Probably the owner's going to go and say, well, I'll give you 2 chances. That's your lot.
Yeah.
So he knows what he was playing for. You've got a unique component part, which is the fan base. They got an early goal, which got them away and up and running, and then it gave them a chance. And how bad Peterborough were, double down on it, but you still got to go and score 4 or 5 goals. You still got to pay. When you get to the 81st minute, I'm watching the game thinking, they ain't going to score again. They're not going to score again. They're not going to score again. And, of course, the controversy comes out of the fact that they scored in the 98th minute. By the way, there's no controversy in that, Darren Ferguson. Your players spent most of the second half rolling around on the floor, trying to waste as much time as they possibly could, and they continue to do that in the 6 minutes that are added on. So you've got a goal scored against you in the 98th minute because of your own antics. The better side won.
Yeah.
They deserve to win. The penalty shootout, irrespective of what Josh says, that is remarkable pressure to be under. You should score penalties. You shouldn't bottle it. But the bottom line is they didn't, and they took penalties in such a fashion that was demonstrative of a professional footballer not succumbing to the pressure. And I'm very proud for Darren Moore, because I watched his face afterwards, and the only reaction I could take from it was a sense of pride for him, because you could see it. I'm critical of football managers, and I think that what they get too often, too much, too easy, and some of the players too. But in those moments, you've got to go and say substance and emotion, and reaction to it is one of pride for him.
And to all those individuals, Stuart, who went on social media and abused him after the first game at Peterborough, then where are you now this morning with your thoughts? Darren Moore came through it last night. He motivated his players.
Well,
they've got to Wembley.
I think Darren Moore's a man of substance, to be fair. He's unassuming. I think he puts his team before himself, and he's just shown he's rose above that. And on occasion like that, Jim, I'm pleased I don't do social media, to be quite honest with you.
But I know we've got to celebrate these things in the moment, and we'll concentrate on whether they should have been on the pitch in a second, no doubt. But this is for nothing. They've got to go and win this playoff final, because greatest comebacks in playoff semi-finals, with the due respect, mean nothing if you don't go and win the playoff final.
Jim White and Simon Jordan, Monday to Thursday morning, 10 till 1. On AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app, and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.